Tucked away in this unassuming bag might be the most versatile power bank you have ever witnessed. Stay tuned. This here is the new DJI 1000, and it's not really that new. I've had it for about a month because I wanted to give it a good test. I didn't want to just put a review out without doing my background research. And in full transparency, DJI did send me this to review. However, they have no input into how this review goes. These are all my own opinions. Now, like I said, I have given this well over a month's review, and it actually is really solid. I used it for Overland Expo Mountain West and Overland of America. I drove from Montana all the way to Oklahoma on a single charge, running only the fridge, and it actually ran the entire way with like 5% battery left when I got to Oklahoma 2.5 days later. Now, when I heard DJI was coming out with their own battery bank, I was both nervous and excited. I was excited in the sense that DJI is known for their drones, which have ultra lightweight and very high capacity batteries, which I was assuming would translate into this 1,000-watt solar generator. Lots of power, a lightweight package, which is exactly what this is. I was nervous, however, because I didn't think it would be able to translate into the overland world, being that this is really meant for more drone operators and of that sense, because they have fast charging for the bulk of their drones with this, which was kind of the direction they went. However, they didn't realize they were unlocking a gem for overlanding. This here is the auxiliary battery system from my 2020 Tacoma. It is custom built by me for me. I made it specifically to suit everything that I needed to do. Now, this system cost right around maybe $1,800, could be a little bit more today. This was built a few years ago, but it has a 100 amp hour lithium battery. It has a panel here that has all the charging ports that I need, and it's got a DC-DC charger from KitGas that does solar and alternator input, and it's got a Renogy display screen to kind of show me everything that's happening in the system. Now, the reason I built the system was twofold. One, to get the battery kind of out of the way, tucked away into the deep bed of the truck, and have just the ports where I need them on the side of the rig here. The second reason was because most battery banks like the Jackery I was using only had one cigarette outlet. In most of the things I was using, I needed at least two. I spent nearly 2 months this summer camping out of the Super Ute, taking all the different expos, showing it off, doing a bunch of overlanding adventures, and the one downfall that I have found with the system, which is the All Powers here, is only having a single cigarette outlet. Unfortunately, the industry has decided that the cigarette outlet is going to be the main power joint for a lot of these systems, like my IceCo fridge, the geyser shower, the diesel heater. For whatever reason, there's not a lot of other options out there to run these higher wattage systems, so they kind of stick with the cigarette lighter. The downfall to this system is I have my IceCo plugged in all the time. It runs continuously. If I want to take a shower or I want to turn the diesel heater on, I have to unplug this and plug in one of these, which really isn't that big of an issue unless you forget to plug the IceCo back in and almost lose everything in your fridge because you took a shower and then just forgot. And that happens late at night at Expo for some people. Before I tell you how DJI solved the problem, let me kind of show you this whole unit as a system, because it's not just one piece. The display itself is really clear, easy to see. There's no nonsense. Input watts, output watts, and then percentage of charge with a little indicator light here just makes it easier to see. Very clean, very easy. And the display itself is so good, you can read it from any angle you go to. You don't have to be right in front of it to see it. Starting left to right, you have two outlets with its own on-off inverter switch, two USB outlets, two USB-C outlets. You have a 1200 watt and 600 watt fast charging wall system here. This takes typical 110 outlet, but apparently you can do a 220 charging here, which is where you get the 1200 watts from. And then you have two SDC outlets, which are new and very exciting. Here on the right side, you've got a large grab handle, a vent here, and then two screw holes where you can actually mount your solar input module to. The back is nice and flat with the DJI logo here. And on the left side here, you've got a big grab handle, another ventilation, and then your serial number here. Now, the great thing about these double SDC outlets here on the front of the Power 1000 is going to be these guys right here, accessories, and you can get a lot of accessories for this. This is the car power outlet, i.e. cigarette lighter to SDC adapter. This is the solar panel adapter, which you can do 3 solar panel inputs at one time. And this is the cigarette lighter adapter. Now, DJI also sent me this bag, which when I first got it, I thought was a little silly, but now that I have it, it is actually awesome, mainly because all of these accessories, they're gonna get lost. Now I've got a place for them and they won't get lost. The basic idea is for your AC power, you have this bank here. For all your DC power, for charging camera batteries and that's good stuff, you have these outlets right here on the bottom right below the display. For AC charging, you have this outlet here, but these SDC outlets are the versatility outlets. They can really build your own power bank with using these adapters. So the idea here is that you have a cigarette lighter and the SDC plug. You plug this in and now you have a cigarette lighter adapter on the face of your power bank. However, you can buy more than one of these. So now you can run 2 cigarette lighters. That way you can run your fridge and your geyser or your diesel heater. You can run 2 things at once. You want to charge on the go and plug this into a cigarette lighter. All you do is plug in this bottom bank here to your SD ports, plug this into your truck, and now you can charge while you're on the road. Or you want to charge solar, plug in your solar input charger SDC plug, and now you can charge solar while you're still running your fridge. There's a lot of versatility. I wish that they had like 4 of these plugs so you could run all kinds of things. So you could still run your fridge, you can run your geyser while you're still inputting with solar. That would just make it that much more versatile, but this is a great start. I've got the IceCo plugged in to discharge the battery bank a little bit so I can show you something that I was a little nervous about when I first saw this. The 2 SDC ports, because they are side by side, I kind of assumed you could either only discharge or recharge. You couldn't do both simultaneously because the plugs are so close together. However, that's not the case. You can actually do both, which is great. It's been plugged in for 10 minutes, it's 100%. I'm gonna be here for a while waiting for this to charge down. While I wait though, maybe you can subscribe and hit that like button and let me know what you think about this video thus far. Unfortunately, the IceCo is just too efficient to really get this thing knocked down and discharged to, we're at 96% now. Luckily, I put some water in the geyser and put it on the heating element, and now it's at 100 degrees, 105 degrees, and this thing's at 96%. So now we can actually start doing some input to it so we can both discharge and recharge at the same time. We're gonna take our solar adapter, plug this thing in, plug in our solar input, and I've got my IceCo solar panel over there sitting in the sun. Currently, we're drawing 62 watts out of the solar panel and only 2 watts discharge to keep the hot water in the geyser going. So let's unplug the geyser and plug the IceCo back in, which has been sitting for a little while. Hopefully it will do a bit more draw. All right, I can hear the compressor kick on. So now we have 61 watts of solar input and we're at 49, 50, 52, 55 watts of output going towards the IceCo to get that thing nice and cooled down. Now we know this works with the solar input. Let's swap solar input for the actual car power adapter, and I've got it plugged into the dual battery system. So we're going to unplug the solar panel here, unplug the solar adapter from the SDC, put that to the side, and grab the SDC from the dual battery cigarette outlet, which would be car charging. Plug that in, and let's see what we've got here. Currently, the auxiliary battery system here in the Tacoma is discharging at 75 watts and inputting into the DJI Power 1000 at 63 watts. And then I've got 34, 35 watts going out from this into the IceCo. So this actually works awesome. What do I like? What do I dislike? And what would I do to improve this for the next iteration? I like the form factor. I like this power bank quite a bit. It's got, I like the big boxy. I like the big, massive carry handles, makes it really easy to handle. I actually really like this bag that that they sent me as well. I never thought I'd like a bag for a power bank, but it kind of protects it, especially in the back of the Super Ute where it gets knocked around a bit. And then for all the accessory SDC plugs, they fit right inside of it, which means I don't lose things, which is even better. These SDC adapters are awesome for this. I think they really nailed it with this one. I mean, really, it's choose your own adventure when it comes to what you want to plug in and how you want to discharge and recharge and do all the fun stuff you can do with this thing. This was genius. The one thing that I'm not really thrilled about with this is kind of the same thing that makes it awesome, and that's the modularity of it. All of the adapters, they're at an extra expense. So the battery bank is on sale right now for $5.99. The bag is $99, which is, again, not necessary, but it's a great option. The car charger port, that's $49. The solar input adapter is $59. And then the cigarette outlet to run everything is $22. So in grand total for the setup that I have, and I want to get one more cigarette outlet, is going to be $828, or when I get it, it's going to be like $850. So you're talking, it's well within reason for a 1,000 watt-hour battery bank, but at the same time, it's just kind of extra expenses, things that you don't really see initially when you're on the website. You kind of have to get it and then be like, oh, now I need this. Oh, now I need this. So you're just kind of adding things on. It's not a big deal because, again, that's what makes this thing awesome. And how could you possibly take something so cool and make it better? Well, I'll tell you, by adding more SDC ports. I think this really requires 4, and let me tell you why. So currently, if I'm running my ice cone, it's plugged in here, and it's cold out, and I want to run my diesel heater here, then I can't charge as well. So now I have to pick what I want to do. If I want to do solar input and ice cone, that's fine. But if I want to do one more thing, I really can't. So I'm kind of back to the beginning of the problem. However, if they had 4 of these ports and you could do solar input, car input, that way you run off alternator, and you could run IceCo, and you could run a bunch of other things, that just opens up the possibilities to that many more capabilities this thing has, which is just awesome. All right, guys, I really hoped you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to hit that thumbs up, be sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.